breathe, of course, and you brought it to a whole another level. And I was just amazed by all of the stories that you mentioned on your social media platforms. But what the breathing revealed to you about the human mind that most of the people never notice. So this is what I'm very curious about.
100%. Well, the only way to engage in something, in the observation, awareness, interpretation of anything is through conscientiousness. And the
Yeah.
very thing that powers your consciousness on this realm or wherever we are, earth, planet, realm, flat, whatever, bro, plane, is air. Air
Yeah.
is the power mechanism, the fuel source of the brain. Yeah, it runs off of glycogen and some stuff like that, but primarily oxygen. You
Yeah.
are a gas being, bro. You're full of farts and burps and all this other stuff. And so is your brain. Your brain runs off of gas. So you can go a month without eating, right? Like people like fast and they've gone a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 40 days, whatever. So it's a
Yeah.
number. Ego pride. I've done a 40-day fast. Who cares, bro? It doesn't even matter,
Yeah.
right? The human body
Yeah.
can go roughly 30 days without having to eat. It can go roughly 7 days without having to drink water. But you can't go over 30 minutes, even minutes without breathing. It's that crucial. It's the most important component of your experience in this realm. You must breathe every single second. You breathe while you sleep. You don't drink while you sleep. You don't eat while you sleep, but you make sure you breathe while you sleep. That breath, every breath in, fuels your mind to engage with the assignment in front of you so you can correctly interpret what it is. So to have this experience, this understanding, and this awareness is completely dependent upon the quality of breath that you just took that engages you and makes you connected with the moment that you're experiencing. When you have an ample supply of fuel source and energy, you're able to deconstruct what it actually is, see it for what it is, and then fulfill it. Every moment, every sequence, every second, every minute, every instance, bad, good, negative, suffering, blessing, pleasure, completely is derived from your ability to properly inhabit it while it's here, because this
Yeah.
won't last forever. Good will not last forever. Bad will not last forever. Suffering won't last forever. Pain won't last forever. Pleasure and opulence won't last forever. So it's our duty as living conscious beings to make sure that we have ample supplies of fuel so we can embody the fullness of it. When I was in pain, I felt every bit of it. And because I felt it, I actually fell in love with it. When I was in euphoria and bliss and like an orgasmic state, I was present, I was there, and I felt every bit of it because I took the breath. And the breath tells us what this reality is. So that's how important it is. And that's what it does. It reveals all information because reality wants to be seen. Consciousness wants to be known. God wants you to find it.
Yeah.
It's not hiding, but it's just that we're so turned off, we don't see it, but it wants to be found. It's the lover who wants, like if you're young love, right? Women, men, they play this game of cat and mouse. Women want to be pursued. They want to be seen in the same way. So does life. Life is the woman that we're chasing, and it's leaving clues for us. It's wanting to reveal itself to us. Wisdom wants to be seen. So we have to pursue it. And whenever we do, it tells us everything about this stuff. And whenever you embrace it and it gives you this wisdom, you can go 280 days, 290 days without eating. You can go 6 years without working out, still grow muscles. You can go and be 37, but look better than your 20-year-old self. I look like my 19-year-old self. When you have two pictures side by side, when I was 19, I look closer to my 19-year-old self now than my 28-year-old self looking to my 19-year-old self. I look older at 28 than I do at 37. At 37, I look my 19-year-old self. That's because wisdom wants to reveal herself to me. She's calling me to her bedroom. She's saying, come here. But if I'm not conscious, if I don't breathe, if I'm not even aware of what breath is, I'll never
Yeah.
know her.
Of course. And I totally agree with you when you said that we are nowadays the most disconnected that we ever were. But
I don't know if nowadays we are, because there's some pretty amazing technological feats out there. So I'm not saying that we are disconnected.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, like, if we're unaware of this, we will be disconnected. I think everyone has a time period of being disconnected. But I think if
Yes.
anything, we're probably the most connected, at least in the past 50 to 100 years we've ever been. So I think right now we're
Okay.
probably the most connected in a way.
All right. But okay, I will reframe that question. So do you believe that the people are mostly exhausted from all of the workload and the stress that we're having on a daily basis? I wanted to say that maybe they are disconnected from their own life force, as you said, what truly means to be living in a form.
I actually think that people are in such a gracious place right now. They have the ability to question their own existence.
Yeah.
And that weight of like, oh, I'm exhausted is the very evidence they have enough space to even think about it. Because
True.
whenever, the Industrial Revolution came around, there were child laborers and
Yeah.
kids thrown into the
Yeah.
workforce at 5, 6, 7. They didn't have time to think, I'm tired. They just were so occupied. So if anything, they were more disconnected because they couldn't even ask the question in the beginning. But now we
Yeah.
have technology, everything's so easy. If I want some food, I can just order it on my phone, it'll be brought to me, and in that time I can meditate. So if anything, I think our ability to even question our own exhaustion and our own suffering shows that we're in such an enlightened moment that we actually have the space to think. It's a very beautiful moment today. In this year, in this
Yeah.
time, we're in the best possible place we could ever be. Because if we reincarnated, we came here, we chose out of every dynasty, every timeline to live in, we chose right here, right now, and we're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, we can even have this conversation through. Where are you in the world right now?
I'm in Austria. I'm based in Austria, in Salzburg,
Austria. I'm
Austria.
in
Yeah.
Nepal.
Yeah.
Two people in two completely different continents can
Different
talk in
continents.
real time. That is
Yes.
beautiful, man.
Yeah,
It's
for
enlightening.
sure. But the deeper you explore breathing and fasting and the stillness, the meditation, what truths about yourself became impossible to ignore?
I'm a direct influence over this entire realm and reality. That's one
Yeah.
thing. I don't want to be in control. I'm not looking to be in control. When people
Mm-hmm.
see me, they automatically want to make me the leader. Like, if we're playing sports, people look at me like he's team captain. I'm like, me? Like, I don't want to be the leader. I don't want to lead everybody. Stop making me the leaders, guy. And a lot
Yeah.
of people, even before previously in the past, were like, bro, why aren't you more famous? It's like, I don't want to be famous. Like, I don't want to lead people. I want people to be free and independent on their own, to have I don't want to tell people what to do, because I've always believed in freedom all of my life. Because I grew up free, because there's no parents to tell me what to do. There's no brother or sister. I could do whatever I want. And I wanted everyone else to experience that. And because people grew up with parents and brothers and sisters and community and stuff like that, they're like, okay, let me go under somebody else and be led. Well, I want to bring everyone into freedom, but whenever I would breathe, it showed me I am the direct response to what's happening in the world right now with everything, all the lockdowns and stuff like that. It is completely coincide with how I'm approaching reality and what I actually desire in my heart. And that was a big thing for me to accept. But the more I accept it, guess what? Now I'm on podcasts. Now people are wanting me to come out and speak. And now all this stuff's happening. Now I'm getting tens of thousands of followers, and people are getting the guide. So like, that was the hardest thing for me to truly accept. But the moment I accepted it, the world started becoming a better place. There's less trails in the sky. There's more blue skies. There's more real clouds. People are happier. So I'm seeing a direct correlation of how I feel in reality to where everyone else is being affected. And that was the biggest and hardest thing.
But
Yeah.
was there ever a moment during your practices where you genuinely felt human and the human potential that was far greater than what we have been conditioned to believe?
Well, I feel the opposite. When I go into these realms, I don't feel human anymore. You know, I don't know if you saw some of my
Yeah.
old, not my old, but like my other interviews. My head has started to cone. I have a cone shaped head now. I don't know if you could see it here on camera, but like, there's like a piece
All
of the
right.
back of my skull has been growing out, and that wasn't there before I started this stuff. I didn't have that, and I now have like lumps protruding out the top of my head. I could send you photos. It might be better for the angles and stuff like that. But the more I've gotten to this, the less human I don't feel human anymore at all. I feel like, if anything, we're supposed to not feel human, because that's what we actually are. We're not humans. Humans is a label for an understanding, so where everyone can grasp it. But guess what? Once you go and you put a little bit more consciousness into it, or just like a little bit more thought, you are beyond the label you've been given. So human and humanity actually stunts us when we think we're like that. So whenever I go into these breathings and everything else, like, I don't feel human anymore. It's so hard to relate with people. It really is. It's the difficulty is actually relating to people, because I see that people cling on to buzzwords. They want to say like, oh, hey, like, we're all vegan, or we're all fasters, or we're all spiritual, we're all carnivore, we're all fitness people. It's just like, but those very labels are what hold us to make us human when we're not supposed to be human. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to be human. You're not supposed to do human stuff. You're supposed to be beyond doing these feats, which I'm sure that's why you invited me on today, because, oh, bro,
Yes.
you haven't worked out in 6
Yes.
years. Oh man, you haven't eaten in almost 300 days. That's not human. Okay, we're not
Yeah.
supposed to be human.
How long? When was your last meal? So how long
Uh,
were you?
yeah, July 25th, 2025. Last
Really?
July. Yeah,
Oh my
that
God.
was my last actual meal. No shakes,
But
no smoothies in between, anything like that.
yeah, but the water is involved, of course. Is it involved?
No, water's not involved. A lot of people, and this is a great time. Like, anything that you
Mm-hmm.
assume, guys, just ask me. I'm here. I will tell you. A lot of people, okay, so water. No, not water. I don't even fast either. So I don't believe in fasting. I believe fasting is very harmful and actually will hold you back from this life. So I don't drink water. I haven't drunk water maybe in like 5 or 6 months. And I don't believe in fasting either. And I'm not vegan. I'm not carnivore.
Okay.
What else? I don't believe in fitness. I don't take supplements. Yeah, so a lot of stuff, you know?
Yeah, but this is very controversial also to me. So that's why I also invited you, because I wanted to learn from you. You
I love
practically
it.
put everything that also I questioned for the last 15 years upside down. What do long periods of fasting teaches someone primarily emotionally, not just physically, but also physiologically and spiritually, to withstand through all of that, the difficulties that we have to go through?
I so have experienced that if you believe you need to go through difficulties, then life will give you exactly what you want. If you believe you have to suffer, life is like, okay, you believe it? Okay, cool. I don't believe that. I believe that we can experience euphoria day after day and live in eternal bliss and bring heaven down to earth. And like this could be our realm, our Garden of Eden, and every day can be sweeter than the last. And I've experienced that for a consecutive timeline of like 6 years. Like it's only gotten better and 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 better. Bah! And then I'm like, I feel like I'm about to cry every moment because life is so beautiful. But if I believe I need to suffer, I need to strain, I need to hold on, and my miracle's coming, life is like, well, that's what you want. Okay, here, I'll give you the reason to have suffering. I'll give you the reason to have willpower. So a big Buddhist teaching is like impermanence and suffering is mandatory. And I guess a lot of people in Buddhism kind of look like that on their face. But me, I'm the happy monk. I'm like, it's all good, baby. I don't believe in suffering. And because of that, I mean, it's not that I don't believe that suffering can't happen. You know, a family member dies or this or that. Suffering's it's an event, you know, but it's conceptual. It's a concept. It's an embrace, an interpretation. My family member can die. I could be like, well, they're off in a better place. I'm actually happy. But I can say, oh, my family member died. Oh, how terrible that is. I lost my family member. So it's all the way of approach. So it's not that I don't believe in suffering per se, but I don't believe that we have to suffer because whatever you engage yourself in, whatever you set yourself upon, reality's giving you that because reality is so genuine. It's gratuitous. It loves you so much. If you believe you have to use force, if you believe you have to suffer, you will have to use force and suffer. If you believe you have to be poor, reality's like, okay, if you believe that you have to learn your lesson by going to prison or losing a bunch of money or hurting the people around you, reality's like, okay, I agree with you. Reality's always like, yes, and. So because of that, I just believe in bliss and it's a win-win situation and we all succeed and we all feel good. We're all elated. We're all happy. And I know it sounds kind of crazy and optimistic, but it's worked for the past 6 years. I've only gotten stronger and better and more beautiful, more vibrant, more youthful, more successful, more wealthy, more happier, more whole. So it's kind of like that. I really don't believe I don't partake in suffering. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm saying I personally don't dip my fingers in that pool. I'd rather go over there to the jacuzzi versus the pool of suffering.
All right. But I just wanted to figure it out. So this absence of food for the most of the time that you had, does it expose that deeper emotional awareness within the people and within yourself?
Well,
So this is
everybody,
what you're trying
yeah,
to say.
totally. Yeah, I actually never told anybody not to eat food. That's a big misconception too. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, he must
Yeah.
drink water, he must fast. I'm like, no, I'm not saying that at all. Guys are seeing where I'm at. They're like, oh man, he like because I'm in Nepal at the moment, right? So I've been traveling the
Yeah.
world for like roughly 6 years. So people see me in Nepal and they're like, oh, well, I must go to Nepal because Mikey's in Nepal. No, just because I'm here, I'm not saying to go there. Just because I haven't eaten doesn't mean I'm telling you guys not to eat. So I actually tell all of my people, my Discord members, my community members, and people who get the guide, like, no, dude, eat because that's how you get here. You don't get this revelation by not eating. You get this by eating, and then you come to the point where you don't have to eat. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
Everyone has it backwards. So like
Mhm.
there's no suffering, there's no denial. I never deny myself from eating. I'm just not hungry yet. Because I'm so
Mhm.
full on life and what it is, because for people to fast, they have to use discipline, which showing you that it's an irrelevant, inefficient way. Anytime you have to use force, you're going against yourself. I don't use force. I never deny. I never reject. I never force myself. If I'm hungry, Mikey just eats. If I'm thirsty, I just drink. It's no biggie. But whenever
Yeah.
you truly embrace this life for a consecutive amount of time, you become so full in life, you just you don't have hunger anymore. And that's whenever I started this. But everyone who follows me, they got the same results as me. They grew bigger muscles. They got like low body fat. They have a bunch of energy. They eat every single day. Like I was in the guide for like 3.5 years before I stopped eating. So I was eating every single day before I stopped eating. I didn't stop eating to discipline myself or go further. I stopped eating because I just wasn't hungry. Like I'd almost just throw up because I was just so full. So I just found
Yeah.
alternate sources to live off of. You know?
but I'm just trying to figure out everything, and maybe even to
Totally.
bring that better approach to the audience that they're listening us. So once you began seeing the life differently, but was it difficult to you to reintegrate back into a normal society? And the conversation that you have to go through all the time, probably the people are going to ask you all of the questions, so are going to bother you about this, because it's a really also, like a mind-blowing thing.
I don't care what you ask. You will never bother me. You are a friend. You
Hmm.
are a companion. You're a comrade, bro.
Yeah,
We're here together. It's like, please,
yeah,
whatever is curious in your heart, express it. I want to help you. I want to connect with you.
yeah,
So as far as reintegrating back in society, I haven't. I can't. Like I really can't. So like here's a divide or a chasm. I'm at this level here, but people perceive me from their level. So when they see me, they're like, oh, he must do water fasting. Oh, he must be, because a lot of people like they come in my DMs are like, Mikey, I can't do this whole not eating thing. So they're already assuming I'm
mhm,
telling them not, when in every post I'm
yeah,
like, no, eat, eat,
yeah,
eat, eat. So a lot of people will perceive me from their specific point of reference because I'm so far. But if I was to come down and correlate or like even relate on that level, it would actually just dump a bunch of energy from me or take a bunch of energy from me to where I would have to start eating again. I'd be so drained operating at that level. So instead,
yeah,
I stay here. I don't try to reassimilate back in society. I just be myself and people can eat from me. So like a lot of people in my Discord community, I have a whole community on Discord and everything else. I go in there just to throw up a bunch of energy and people feed off that stuff. And from that, they have more success, they have more wealth, they have more favor, they have more life, they have better results because it's all about the energy that you're consuming. So they may not understand me this first time, but you keep eating this energy, you keep absorbing it, and then over time, it just makes sense. So I am patient with people. I don't ever like try to lower myself just to connect or try to get them to understand me, but I stay consistent in what I am. And I know that if they feed off this energy in time, it might take 6 months to truly understand me. They'll be there. So it's kind of like that. So I'm not really reintegrated back into society. I'm just being what I am, and then people are catching up and they're rising from this energy I'm sharing, and then I
yes.
can sustain it a lot easier.
Yes, yes, I totally understand you, because you're very in sync with yourself and with your own body. You're very like a unique kind of way. But what parts of the modern society, for the normal people out there, I think they are now feel the most disconnected with their body and from the human nature by itself. So what do you think that maybe lies crucial? Do you seek the God first? So how do you reconnect and be in alignment with yourself? To start,
That
hear your body, reading your body much more better.
100%. That is such a beautiful question.
Hmm.
So my grandma and my dad was like an older dude, right? That's funny story.
Hmm.
My dad is older than my grandma. If you guys can do the math on that, or math person, my father is older than my grandmother. But anyway, they're from a completely different generation.
Yeah,
And they don't even know that they're out of sync with their body. They just consider arthritis and cancer and sickness as part of life. So the fact
yeah,
that a person can even say, I'm out of sync with my body, I'm out of alignment, they're already in alignment by even acknowledging and being aware of the in alignment in their body. So like they're already in alignment just by acknowledging the in alignment. They're in alignment by acknowledging the in alignment. So
yeah,
whenever you come to the first steps of the guide, like I share, in the steps to have this life, the primary thing is to get anything out of your life that's in, I would say, manufactured by man for the most part, right? Like as many things that are man-made, just try to get it out of your life as far as possible. Some things we have to have like a phone, and I have to use this microphone so you guys can hear me and everything else. But for the most part, you don't have to eat junk food. You don't have to eat cakes. You don't have to have perfume or cologne or soap or deodorant or their toothpaste or all this other stuff. You can, you honestly don't even need it. My teeth are white. We make our own. We don't make toothpaste. We make food paste. So the food I have around me makes my teeth white. The
okay,
food I consume, or the things that I consume, gives my skin a natural radiance and glow. I don't use lotion or anything like that. So the first step to coming more connected with yourself, which you really can't. You can't actually be more connected to yourself. You can only be aware of the connection that you have. But you're already connected as much as you're going to be. You're not going to be more closer to your heart next year than you are now. Your heart's inside of you. It's always been inside of you. It'll always be inside of you. So no matter what, you are as connected as you ultimately ever will be, but it's just now being aware of that connection. So you're bringing awareness to the connection that you already have. when you see it in that light, it's a lot more alleviating. It's not so stressful. Like, oh man, I need to hurry up and get connected with myself because I'm not connected. Oh my God, I got to get connected. You know, I'm already connected. Now I'm just learning how I'm connected. Now it's a journey. Now it's fun. Now we're just enjoying it. You know, I'm already as connected as I'll ever be. And I get to spend the rest of my life just learning about how I'm already connected. So it's a lot easier. And one way to get connected with yourself deeper or be more aware of it is to cut out everything that's man-made. Man-made lights, man-made, what else? Foods, chemicals, colognes, perfumes. And the more you disconnect with man-made manipulated stuff, the more you automatically become more aware of what you are. And that's the first and easiest step that you can do.
All right, but for example, you're in Nepal, and I see that you're with beautiful surroundings that you that you live in, and that you can really take also the advantages of the nature. But for the people who are living in the bigger city, do you think the people today are overstimulated because everything is practically offered to us? And we are also seeking pleasure on one side. But how we can navigate through this to be in alignment with our nature self?
I mean, you just said it. Like, if you're in the city, just go to nature. Like,
Hmm.
there's natural reserves everywhere. It's not impossible. It's not some sort of like great feat of how am I ever gonna get out of the city? Just drive. And if you don't have a car,
Yeah,
get a bus. If you don't have a bus, hire an Uber. If you can't get an Uber, hike your way there. Just do it. Like you are the only thing holding yourself back. It's not like there's actually something holding you. Nothing can ever hold you back. It's just the choices that you're making. So that's why I said in the beginning, like the suffering isn't actually suffering. It's just the confirmation of every choice that we made thus far. So whenever you come to the position in your life to where you understand, like, I can just go to nature. Like, I was
yeah.
the guy in the city. I lived in Atlanta. I actually lived in the high rise. I lived in like a penthouse in the high rise and stuff like that.
So
As
what you
as
don't
time
chase,
went
you're
by, I just
choosing.
made the conscious decision to go out and then find where nature is. And now I'm there. I just chose this. I'm here because I chose this. And
Yeah,
everyone else can do the same thing. I had a lot of people in my Discord community. They thought the same thing. Oh, Mikey, like I had people from like New York City, right? It's like like one of the biggest cities in the world. A lot of
yeah,
pollution, a lot of brutalism and stuff like that, like buildings, architecture, stuff like that. They, if anybody, would be the most hopeless. I'm in New York City. I live in Manhattan. I live here and there. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, bro, just move. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, just move. They're like, I can do that. I'm like, yeah, just move. And guess what? They got up. It wasn't that day. It wasn't that week. It wasn't even that month, but they got a transfer in the same job and everything else to go to a more, I guess, nature-esque place. And now they live out closer towards nature because they just understood how much freedom they actually have. They just moved. And now they're out in nature and they're like, oh my God, Mikey, you gave me so much power. I didn't even know I could just get up and move. Again, you guys are thinking I'm telling you everything right now. I'm a Capricorn, man. So I'm like legacy building, long-term focus. Like I'm looking to the future. Like in myself, I'm already 60. I'm already a senior citizen, bro. Like I can already get in the movies for a current rate in my mind. So I'm already like looking like 40 years ahead in the future and stuff like that. 30, 20, in the future. And the same way when I share information with you guys, I'm not saying do this right now, this moment, but start moving in that direction, start looking that way. And then eventually you'll end up there. Wherever you're looking, is where you're going to end up. So they start looking to a more nature-esque place and, scenic views and stuff like that. And then by chance of life, you will be the one who ends up there. It's so easy.
yeah. And do you also believe that modern illness nowadays begins emotionally before it actually manifests physically nowadays?
It's life itself. That's a great question. That is so
Yeah,
deep. Okay. But like life itself is collapsing upon itself from itself. So as it looks at
yeah,
itself, it triggers itself to feel something so it can exist.
yeah,
Everything in reality is trying to give you a feedback so it can emote from you so it can be justified to exist in your realm. So you have things external outside of you trying to provoke you so your emotions can create something so it can exist because it doesn't actually exist until you feel it, but it exists enough to affect you. So you have to come to
yeah,
the point where you are both the yin and the yang, the outside and the inside simultaneously. And now it doesn't matter if it's through emotions. It doesn't matter if it's an external trigger point. All the reality is being collapsed on itself symbiotically to be the very thing that you feel, that you see, that you hold, that you believe, that you speak, that you say, that's external of you and everything else around you. So it's a simultaneously conscious engagement and a grasping of all things at all times to exist in the reality that you're experiencing, which takes a lot of conscious energy. which is why in the
Yeah.
guide, it's not about losing weight or not eating or whatever. The guide's actually the opposite. It's about getting as much energy as you possibly can because you have a job to do. You have a duty. You have to apply so much conscious effort to hold all of reality together. And you're late. So we got to start getting you some more energy to do that.
And from the community that you also teach, have you ever met a person, or maybe in a larger number, on a larger scale, that's unresolved emotions and trauma literally change the way a person breathes, even thinks, and just experience the reality? I mean, how do you navigate this? Um, you know, from them step by step. How do you guide them, to change the frame of thinking?
Yeah, totally. Of course. I've had people literally have a facial reconstruction because they have resolved inner turmoil in their own life.